Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. That ball. Live stream crypto, he sniping for help. Very risky, they shed the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be click clack, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. And when he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the tracks, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the trap, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. That ball. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be click clack, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. And when he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the tracks, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. That ball. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dreams. With beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be click clack, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. And when he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the tracks, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflame. Check it. OG Vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be click clack, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. And when he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the track. OG off the house, violate the track, violate the track, violate the track. Violate the track. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflame. Check it. OG Vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be click clack, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. And when he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house. Violate the track. Violate the track. OG off the house. Violate the track. Violate the track. Violate the track. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflame. Check it. OG Vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be click clack, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. And when he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house. Violate the track. Violate the track. OG off the house. Violate the track. Violate the track. Violate the track. Violate the track. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than mid. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, black candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. And when he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house. Violate the track. Violate the track. OG off the house. Violate the track. Violate the track. Violate the track. Violate the track. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than mid. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, black candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. And when he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house. Violate the track. Violate the track. OG walk the house. Violate the track. Violate the track. Violate the black. OG walk the house.
In the dark of the night, when the moon's hanging low, there's a place where the wildest of tales start to grow. Below the skeleton, with his bony grin, and Vault his co-host, let the stories begin. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown in what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast. We're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Vault are your guides. Let's take a dive in the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more. Whispers of ghosts in the halls of the old, haunted by the memories of stories untold. Political shadows.
Forgot I have a whole fucking auctions, man. Ugh.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Tales from the Crypto. Mo, I don't see you. Mo's here. I've been talking to him. I know he's here. Give him 1 second.
Yo, yes, we are here. What is up?
Pop up. We got Real Goku in the chat. He wants to talk about the VB Girl Hooters. Bro, we can't be talking about that. It's not Hooters time. Maybe when we get to the crypto section, we'll talk a little bit about girls. You want VB Girl Hooters? Like, come on, bro. We got Denny OC. He's enjoying the Tales from the Crypto shows. We do these every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern. No, Mo's here. We just can't see him yet. It's an invisible Mo.
Oh, I'm here. Don't you worry.
Did you turn your OBS on? Your virtual camera?
OBS should be kicking it. No, you don't see it?
It's gonna be a short tales from the crypto tonight. Me and Mo
Oh,
have
I never
both
turned
been
my
very...
camera on. Fucking Zoom. That's
There
why.
it is. There he is. Oh, he's naked. It's naked Mo. What? There's some
Oh, it's
Hooter for you.
clothing. I thought clothing was optional for Tales from the Crypto.
There you go. You got dressed up for it. I appreciate you dressing up for us. Yeah, me and Mo have been pretty busy this week, so we don't have a lot to talk about, but we have a little bit to talk about. And then Mo's got a big stream tonight at 6 p.m. What do you got planned for 6 p.m. tonight, Mo?
So we've been doing the horse auctions for about 6 months now on PFL. We haven't really done one in a while. So they put one together. We're gonna run them, I think, every night for like a week or 2 weeks. We're just basically running like different types of horses. Tonight is auction for 2-year-old horses that are already ready to race. So
Nice.
should be good.
We're going to be talking a little bit of Photo Finish Live here in a minute also, because I'm going to do a live reveal of my new foal. My horse gave birth. I haven't checked it yet. I've got it pulled up here to check. It has a tap to reveal button. So we're going to do it live, hoping for a filly. I really need a female horse. That's what I'm really, really hoping for. My last two foals were colts, and I need a filly. An S- filly would be awesome. We'll be checking it out when we get to the gaming section tonight. We're going to run through these pretty quick. We'll probably mostly be talking politics, because there's been a lot going on in politics this week, in U.S. politics. But of course, we got a little bit of paranormal stuff that I'm going to be showing you guys. What's up, Super Duper Hang? Thanks for hanging out with us. And if you're just listening, you might not be able to enjoy the first topic, which is paranormal activity as usual. We're going to be doing Bigfoot next week, and I've been searching for some good Bigfoot footage. But for tonight, we got something a little different. It's kind of strange. It's probably fake, don't get me wrong, but I really enjoy this because I can't figure out how this person does this. Mo, you should watch it too and let me know what you think. So it's going to be 2 videos here. It's from the same guy. This guy named Incognito Gaming. He's been posting these videos recently on his TikTok, and people are wondering what the heck's going on. So let me get it pulled up here. The first video is him checking out the moon, and when he zooms into the moon, you can see a face here. So let me get it going.
We're gonna go out here and see this thing.
Hopefully it's not too loud.
All right. I think there's a face on the moon. I think
This is February of
it's
this
happening
year.
again. Let me.
And he's doing this with his phone. So the second video, he
there it
actually
is.
goes and gets an HD camera.
There it is, people. I'm trying my best to hold it. There it is. Face on the moon. Sorry, I got a sucky camera. I got a sucky camera.
Pause.
All right, hold on. Let me get a good look at this.
And there's been a few other people that have been
seen
doing the
this
same thing and seeing the same
before.
face. Of course, there's lots of people who've
seen
been
this
trying to do
before.
it and they don't see the face.
I've seen this before. There it is. There it is. Face by the moon.
You can kind of see
You
it
heard
there.
it here live. You heard it here.
And this
Wish
is
I
the
could get a
original
closer
version.
Zoom on it. Even the moon itself is throwing off some kind of a.
Now, is there any
weird
correlation
light.
to the people shooting these
Throwing off a
videos
weird
and
light.
the location of meth labs in their area?
Probably.
how do you
So
zoom
here's
in on
part
this?
2. This is 7 days later. He goes and buys a really, really nice camera.
This thing right here. That way or this way?
And his girlfriend's in there telling him how to use it. So it doesn't seem like he's like a camera expert or a video editor. However, I mean, obviously
See that?
something's going on here.
Look at that. Wow. Wow.
Now you can see it really clearly with this
So I
new
went out and got
camera.
a better camera tonight. Just so y'all can see.
What it really picks it up.
Hold up. Hold up.
It says it was February
Maybe that's
29th.
what's inside of the moon.
I just got this
Maybe
camera
the moon really is hollow.
so I can come out here
It's
and
just
see
giving
this
birth
thing.
to some fucking. Looks like the
So I can show
Goodyear,
it to
not the
y'all.
Goodyear guy.
I told you
Mark
something was
it
weird
is.
with the moon, man.
It's happening
There's something
again.
going
It's
on
out
with
there
that.
tonight. You see it? Look through the
Yeah,
camera.
could you imagine if the moon was just like an egg? Like an alien egg? Holy
Yeah.
shit, that would be fucking dope.
See, I tried to tell
I ain't
him.
gonna lie. That's trippy. Like, honestly, I work a lot with After Effects and, like, trying to do weird looking stuff. Fuck, man, it almost looks like some sort of, like, masked out video, but, you said there's, like, other videos that have the same similar thing on it?
And on some of them, the face is on the other side of the moon too. So I guess it depends on where in the world you are. So, and sometimes the face is like turned differently. It's not exactly head on the way it is here. If it's editing, or if it's Photoshop, I cannot figure out how he did it. It looks really good.
I mean, like, I can probably tell you if I was gonna do it, I would just mask out the moon, throw it behind the moon. He throw in a little mask with some. Like, you see on my video? See my little video down here in the corner?
Yep.
Yeah, I got like that weird little moving mask going over it that kind of like highlights the lighting and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Using things like that and just kind of like making things look like they're baked in to the image behind it. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do to like try to fake it, but I don't know, man. It's kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
It's creepy to me too. Here, let me pull it back up for a second and mute it if I can find the mute button. So what's interesting on all these videos that I see, and there are several of them out there.
There it is.
See if you can see. You can see this little area right here that I'm circling. There's always this weird glowing light in the bottom right
Makes sense.
of the face, and I don't know what that
Steel
has to do
frame
with
on it.
anything, but I mean it glows really
Yep. They're
bright
definitely up
in
there.
some
It's
of the
definitely a
videos.
face.
Almost looks like he's
What's
moving.
today's date? What's today's date?
28.
It's the 28th. Hold
It's
up.
got it's got cracks on his head like it's a statue or something. I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. I've been checking it out the last couple of weeks. As you can see, it came out in February of this year, and a lot of people have been talking about it and trying to replicate it. Probably fake, obviously, but if so, then it's a really good fake.
What if it's like oh my god, the fucking movie. I always it's the John Carpenter movie, They Live. What if it's like They Live, where Rowdy Piper puts on the glasses, and you can see like, you know, what people really are or whatever.
I never
what
saw
if it's
that.
like that? You've never seen the movie They Live?
No, it's like 80s, ain't it?
Yeah, it's got like the craziest, longest fight scene between Rowdy Piper and this black dude, bro, that goes on. The first time I saw the movie, I was tripping balls, and I felt like the fight scene went on for an hour, but I think it's only like a minute or two.
Right.
But it's a really, really, really good movie. It's trippy. It's brilliant. It's John Carpenter. But what if like some company out there just somehow stumbled across like a lens that picks up on things that we can't see? Not Rowdy Piper, you damn
I
right.
wouldn't be super surprised. Super duper Hank
You
says
imagine?
it's just a lens or plastic surface he placed over the camera that creates a hologram when hit by light. How does it make the hologram way out there? Because he has to zoom in to see it, though. That's what trips me out about it. Unless he, yeah, because what does he fade it in? Because you don't see it at first until you zoom all the way in. That's the part
True.
that trips me out. Now, one person I saw in the comments of one of the videos said that possibly that's not the moon. Actually, it's a light source coming from somewhere else, and he placed the picture behind the light source and made you think that it's the moon, which I could kind of see it maybe of that happening, but it's way up in the air on the second one. It feels like it's legit the moon, so I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Like I said, we're going to do Sam Squanches. That's what Denny calls them. I think they call that on some TV show that he watches. And there was somebody in the chat that kept giving me a link to a YouTube channel that does really good Bigfoot videos. But I went back and looked at my comments, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So if anybody's watching this later on and is that person, please send me the link to that person's channel that you were trying to show me so I can check it out. But I've already found a few good Bigfoot videos. We'll put something nice together. For next week when we have more time. Yes, Hot Rod, Roddy Piper. And of
Very
course,
near and dear to my heart, Bigfoot. Obviously, growing up, we had the amusement park in my backyard. Bigfoot Park was the name of it.
Oh.
You know, so it was like a whole lore type thing growing up with me and my dad. So definitely appreciate some good Bigfoot conversation, and also my stable name.
I was
And,
going to say, Mo's Photo Finish Live stable name is
Yep.
Bigfoot Stables. So you know he's a fan.
and we just got another breed, baby. Let's go. We're up to
Let's
like
go.
9 fucking breeds, and it's the first day of breeding season. Let's go.
That's good stuff. What's up, Danu? Thanks for hanging out with us. It's Tales from the Crypto. That was our paranormal section. Like I said, we're going to breeze through them today. We'll talk about politics for a little bit, and then we're going to be ending before 6 o'clock because we got stuff to do this evening, folks. Let me get that off of here. So our world news topic that we wanted to discuss today was about the petrodollar and about how the U.S. dollar has usually been used for the trade of oil, but now they're starting to move away from that and move to other types of currencies. And I was trying to do some research on it. The research I was finding didn't make it sound as dire as I thought it was, as dire as it seemed like it was. Here's one thing that I found really interesting. This is a little bit of a history about it, but whenever they get into what's going on right now, it says that over the past few years, the digital payment ecosystem has progressed significantly toward what is known as tokenization. They're talking about using CBDCs or stablecoins pegged to the dollar or any major currency cryptocurrency designed to be fixed to a reference asset and using those to exchange for oil and for other assets between countries. So, Mo, what do you think about the petrodollar and the chances that the dollar, the US dollar, loses a lot of significant value because of this?
You asked me that question as soon as I was mid-ripping this bowl. Dude, and the reason why I wanted to rip this, because I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. You know, we've talked about this numerous times. The amount of people that want the dollar, the American dollar, gone is astounding. The other big nations, they all working together, right, to do their own digital currency. When you look for things out in the open, yes, we don't find too much, right? But if you dig a little deeper and you read between the lines, it really does kind of tie into everything we've talked about with, again, digital currency that, other nations want to put together and basically wipe out the dollar. It goes together with the United States want to do, again, like digital currency, which I'm against. Again, we don't need money with expiration dates. We don't need them to be able to control inflation by tapering it. And, well, we made enough money this month as a country, so you know what? We're going to push back the expiration date on the dollar. And then if we don't spend enough money as a country and whatever, they're going to be like, oh, you know what? All your money expires on the first of the year. And if that happens, they'll basically just scare people to spend the money, obviously, because they don't want to lose it. And then they'll fix the inflation. It's just a way of control. But again, I think this all kind of ties into everybody else in the world wanting to remove us as the superpower, which isn't anything new. I think the problem is, though, man, like back in the day, if you weren't physically able to do something, you couldn't do it. Now, with the digital world that we live in, I think we could get wiped out. You can't wipe us out as a country, but you could easily wipe us out, I think, from like an online standpoint. I think that would actually be pretty easily doable in 2024. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they got this new BRICS. The BRICS, I don't even know what it's called, but it's a group of countries. I think it's Russia, China, I want to say North Korea.
Yep, North Korea.
Yeah, do you know who else is in BRICS? I think a few other ones.
No, but that was actually, we talked about this, I think, on an older show where we talked about them joining forces and they did like their whole little presentation or whatever, and I was like, man, this is trouble. But I think that's just the same thing.
Yeah, they're working together because they don't want us to be the dominant power anymore, and weakening the dollar is kind of the best way to do it, or at least a good starting point anyway. What's up, Atom? Thanks for hanging out. You missed the paranormal section. This is going to be a quick hour-long episode of Tales from the Crypto. If you want to rewind, if you're interested, you can go back and see that there's actually a giant face next to the moon. We don't know exactly how it got there or what it's doing there, but we see it. It might be fake.
I gotta look into that some more, man. Like that is very, very, very interesting to me.
Yeah. I want to look at some of the other videos too, because that's just that one guy's videos. Other people have seen it as well. And Thanu's asking about the Incredible Hulk 180. VB definitely teased that they are dropping Incredible Hulk 180, which is the first appearance of Wolverine. They didn't say when. I'm just hoping it's on a weekend so I can stream that drop and so I can go for that drop. That's going to be a good drop to go for. It's probably going to be $20, but it's in 5,000 editions. I don't know if the common will stay above retail, but it'll probably start off above retail. So that's going to be a good drop. Mo, do you even go for the drops when it's something good like that anymore?
Nah, I don't know, man. Listen, when I got into VB, I told you I saw Cavell, wasn't interested. I saw you, tuned into you. I don't know, man. Like my whole routine was waking up, getting ready for the PFL horse races to start at 10. Remember back when we had like a 12-hour schedule?
Yep.
My routine was get up, get my coffee, get ready for the race day, tune into you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't feel like the same vibe anymore. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't really necessarily think it has to do with, tuning into you as content. Obviously, I can talk to you whenever the hell,
Sure.
about anything. But it's just like, man, I don't know. It's not the same, like...
It's not as fun as it used to be.
Yeah. It's just not like the vibe. I feel like, okay, cool, I'm going to go and get ripped off again. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me go but pay something that I know is just going to drop in value again. But it's a good comic from what I understand. I don't think I'll go for it. But when's Captain America #1 coming? Anybody still want to prove me wrong on that one?
It's coming, dude. No matter what you say, I don't care if Hitler's on the cover. They're still definitely going to drop Captain America #1 someday. I promise you.
No, but David, you did. I'm telling you, you said it on that interview. They got to be very, very careful on public opinion. So
True.
That's why I think just based on that statement alone from him on that interview, I still stand by it. I don't know if they release it, and if they did, they would censor it, which would then piss off so many people.
No,
but
they can't censor. Let us know what you think in the chat. Me and Mo have been gone back and forth over this one for like 2 years at least by now. He doesn't think that VV will ever drop Captain America #1 because it has Adolf Hitler on the cover. I think they will. One, because it's such a big comic. It's a historic cover, and also they've already dropped comics in the past that have Hitler in it. Maybe not on the cover, though.
Not on the cover, though. That's the important part.
So, I think they will. Mo says no. Denny says he heard animated secret rare cover. That sounds like some Moon Boy gossip right there. Maybe it came from an official source. I don't know where you heard it from. But
That would be dope, though.
What's that?
It would be dope. I mean, animated covers, I mean...
Super dope, yes.
I mean, listen, I told you the way... And I'm not saying BB needs saving or fixing. I mean, they probably do, but I'm not saying it. If they just came out, again, do it to every single comic, interactive comics, AR, that you basically walk through, it's like an experience, right? We talked about the cell by cell, frame by frame. Just sell it as an upgrade and be like, okay, you have to own the comic and this. Almost like with Palm, with DC rather, on Candy.
Yep.
How you get like the cow and then like inject it, you know what I'm saying, with like a cell. Something like that, like a comic cell that basically turns it into like a, you walk through the comic and you experience the comic. Because then I would probably come in and buy a lot of fucking comics.
Yeah, it's kind of on Marvel more than VV. I feel like Marvel needs to take advantage of the digital age and make like every frame animated, and that would make for a much better, a much enjoyable reading experience, because kids don't read that much anymore. I mean, they watch movies, they watch TikToks. I mean, if you could make each frame or each, I know there's a perfect word for it, but each scene animated somehow, or even play the context or whatever they're saying, play it out loud so they can hear the voices. You don't have to actually read. I mean, I know it makes kids sound dumb that we don't even want them to have to read, but kids don't want to read. I'm telling you.
Kids don't want to do anything. That's why they want to wake up. They want to inject themselves with as much information, as knowledge as possible, do as little work as possible, and make as much money as possible. Yep. I mean, it's actually the American dream, honestly, but kids definitely have it easier.
Autumn says the face on the moon has been debunked. I'm not talking about the face on the moon that the Apollo 11 saw, and that actually, I don't necessarily think that's been debunked. We talked about that last week. A lot of people think that the debunking was actually some fake information put out by NASA, but this is a whole different, this is a face next to the moon. It's a big old head. Go back and check it out at some point. We played it earlier.
That's their truth, Walt. That is their truth, and how dare you invalidate their feelings, okay?
That's big NASA speaking.
How dare you?
Bruin88 says, Mo, I agree. It is not fun anymore. Homies are hating each other. My time and money is too important to just throw away. I'm turning into a Scrooge. Don't turn into a Scrooge, Bruin88. You got to have fun, but VV needs to do something to make it more fun. We need the VV-verse. An interactive VV-verse would help, but where is it? I don't know.
Yeah, because then we could all hang out. We could do this show from the fucking VV-verse, and then I can... And I'd be like, well, maybe I got to buy some fucking NFTs this week because I got to do a show, and we're going to do it live from the fucking BB-verse, and I don't want to look like a broke-ass motherfucker, little broke bitch, you know what I mean? Yep. So I got to spruce the place up a little bit, you know? But I do want to say real quick, too, to Bruin and anybody else, really, because I've gotten some DMs where people are like, are you, like, mad at, like, I'm not mad at anybody. Like, I just don't waste my time on things that I don't waste my time on. It's just what it boils down to. So if you guys don't see me and you guys don't hear from me, like, you want to say what's up, and you're like, hey, I wonder what Mo's up to, send me a DM. My DMs are open on Twitter, man. Just hit me up, say what's up, ask how I'm doing. I give a shit about a lot of you guys, but I just don't give a shit about the platforms and the ways that we interact. So it's just...
And you can always check out Mo on Kick. He streams a lot over there.
That too. But if you don't just tune into the streams, there's a lot of people even here right now that I don't ever really see unless I'm with you or, BE or somebody. But then when I see those people like, oh man, it's been so long. Oh, how you doing? It's like, dude, reach out, come play some photo finish, come get involved. I told you I've been so addicted. We'll get to that quick little gaming section later, but damn, that's that freaking Beacon game. Oh, what else we got to talk about? What else?
I'm surprised that Beacon game is so good. That's the one that I didn't think looked that interesting to me. But then again, my kid was just playing Minecraft yesterday, so I guess graphics don't matter as much as I used to think they did. Thaney says he likes that idea of each frame being animated. That would be dope in my opinion. And Autumn says he did go back and see my video. Even that one's been debunked. It looks I mean, obviously there's not a big giant head out there. I just can't figure out how he did it. Yeah, I don't know. It looks really cool to me. I'll just say it looks cool. And we had to do a quick little paranormal section today since it's a shorter show. Denny says we need the old drop system back and transfers. We need both of those back. I agree 100%. Bring Clockgate back. Then we can all have an advantage, and then people will definitely enjoy it more if they have an advantage and they can get every drop they want. But
That was before my time, but I remember watching that was about when I found you, and I used to go back and watch your older drop videos just to kind of get an idea of where BB was, back then.
you weren't around during Clockgate?
No,
Oh, you missed out, bro. Oh, it was so awesome. We got every drop.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I remember finding you, it was probably like early November. It was right around the time of the Golden Moments and
Yep.
Disney Plus thing, right?
That's when
Because
you
I had
blew
seen
up.
some stuff on Twitter. Yeah, because I had seen some stuff on Twitter going into it, and I was like, I just said to my girls, I'm like, wow, I'm like a golden statue of like the Walt thing. She's like, yeah, they got that at Disney, because she goes all the time. Like, yeah, they got that at Disney, blah, 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 blah. She's gonna be so cool. And I'm like, yeah, but fucking digital collectible bullshit. I mean, I wasn't, again, I was anti-NFT at the time. You know what I mean? I still
Right.
am when it comes to like profile picture. But with utility, obviously, and like VB and PFL is different. But dude, I remember like tuning into like your old videos and seeing you just get like everything and be like, yeah, I might as well just take some of these off the floor, and yeah, I picked up 20 of these off the market. It was still sitting there, and I remember at the time I was like, God damn. And then that's when the bots came in. That's when all the everything got super inflated and
Everything sold out within 1 second after dropping.
mm-hmm.
Those were the good days.
Listen, I don't cry poverty, man, but like VB has never done anything for me
Okay.
as far as like luck. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I went for a lot of drops for a very, very long time. I got shut out of all the good ones. I got commons on every good comic. I mean, I think the only good thing I ever got was like, the fucking animated band leader Mickey, which I held on to at 600 and watched it plummet to, I don't know what the fuck it's at now, but I still have it. And then I got the Black Panther drop on the drop, and it just fucked me. It just never gave me my gems. It never gave me anything.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and I was at my boy's house too, and I like jumped up. I was so excited to get in, and I jumped up, and I was like, "Fuck! I gotta get my card!" And I like flew out. I tripped over. I busted my ass.
Oh,
Did like a fucking ninja roll. Got out to my car because you had 5 minutes back then, right?
Yep.
And yeah, so by the time I did all that, and I went through all that, and it just never gave me my gems. Said it gave me the fucking purchase, but never showed up.
Dude, that's weak. Yeah, I
But
definitely.
again, that was during Black Panther when things were like you couldn't even get into these fucking drops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were super hard to get. I definitely got a lot of comments on the on the good drops too, but I made more money sniping the market than I did getting the drops. We got some VB OGs in the chat. Captain Obvious is here. Pixel Pudding, what's up, homies? We're about to get into some controversial stuff. I know y'all like that. It's been a big week in U.S. politics. Denny OC, appreciate you, bro. Bruin88 was digging the Lion Gate. Man, I remember Lion Gate. It didn't really help, but it was fun to do. If I went I would never land anything on the drops, even Secret Rare Gate. Secret Rare Gate actually worked for a while. It was so weird because it doesn't make sense. We would back out 10 seconds before the drop, and then people would get Secret Rares. It even worked for me. I have no explanation as to why. What's up, Tito420? Thanks for hanging out. Life is good right now, but if you're in America, I don't know how long that's going to last because the Supreme Court just passed a new law that, did you see this, Mo, that states that a president is immune from breaking any law as long as it's considered part of his official duty?
No, actually, I did not see that.
You didn't see that? It's the new king law. They're calling it like Joe Biden is the king now because he can literally do whatever he wants. And it even says in Justice Sotomayor's rebuttal, because she voted against it, was like basically you can assassinate your political opponent now and you can't go to jail for it. It's crazy.
I mean, I know that because I think Bruce says it's not a new law. I mean, I know they obviously with executive decisions and presidential powers. I mean, I feel like they had some sort of immunity, but what? Yeah, I guess I'm talking out of my ass if I don't know what happened with the new whatever got pushed in the law. But that's crazy, man. That's scary. Hopefully, Biden just stays asleep until November, and then when he wakes up and realizes he's gone, we could just.
I don't think Biden's going to do anything. The problem is if Trump gets elected, he will do things like that. That's what's kind of scary. And if you guys were,
No, he loves this country.
Psh, are you serious? He
Trump loves
himself.
America.
I don't know if I believe that.
Really?
Autumn says,
Damn.
President can assassinate your opponent. It was based on Trump, so it should be called the Trump King Law. Yeah, it was because of Trump was his attorneys are the ones that brought it up and pushed it all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court basically sided with Trump, which makes sense since Trump appointed 3 of the Supreme
That's
Court
important, yeah.
justices. So the Supreme Court is like Trump's Supreme Court now. And if you go back and look at the history of the appointments of the Supreme Court recently, you can go back to where like Obama was supposed to appoint Neil Gorsuch, and Mitch McConnell said, no, we're not going to let you do it because it's the last year of your presidency. And then the last year of Trump's presidency, they had no problem with him appointing. So they basically stole a Supreme Court judge from Obama. And what's really crazy is that Republicans have appointed more than twice as many justices to the Supreme Court in the last 30 years than Democrats, but Republicans have never won the popular vote in any presidential election in the last 30 years, with one exception, Bush Jr. after 9/11 as an incumbent. So basically, it's the minority that has created this Supreme Court. So, I mean, to me, that doesn't seem very Democratic. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's
It's not fair. But that's how.
no, it's not.
They're playing
Listen,
the game.
oh yeah, trust me, I'll never sit here and tell you that politics are fair, that what Republican, what Trump are doing is fair. I'll never say that.
And then also, of course, there was the big giant presidential debate. Most people think that Donald Trump won the debate because Joe Biden just seemed like super old and out of it. And I would agree with that because Joe Biden had a horrible performance. But on the other hand, I don't know how somebody can win a debate if they lie about everything. You can give me any quote you want from the whole entire debate from Donald Trump, and I guarantee there's a lie in there. Like half the stuff he said was lies.
Like 59% fucking shit that came out of his mouth was a lie.
More like 99%. Bruin88 says congresspersons can say anything in session and not get in trouble. Yes, it is somewhat limited. Can't say I'm going to kill some or something like that. Well, they can now. The president can anyway. Yeah, I think that's the old immunity, but this new immunity that the Supreme Court passed is wild to me. Funny thing is that the Supreme Court just opened a way for the presidents to take them out. Yeah, technically they could take out Supreme Court justices. They could have them assassinated by SEAL Team 6 and say that it was part of their official duty, so they can't get in trouble for it. Now any president can officially take out a Supreme Court judge. It's wild. But I mean,
it's pretty much turning into Russia.
Yes.
I mean, anytime that Putin has a fucking squabble with anybody over there, anywhere in that fucking organization, they somehow want to kill themselves or throw themselves out of a window. You know what I mean? In the next week or two, which is kind of weird. But
I feel like we're turning into that too. It's kind of scary. So I did pull up a website for fact checking the presidential debate. Now, of course, there was a big fact check on CNN. There was one on New York Post. So I tried to get a website that was pretty neutral. So I went with BBC. Because, I mean, they're not even American, right? So if we look at BBC, let's look at some of the stuff that they said needed to be fact-checked during the debate. I think I took off my background. I don't want that gone. There we go. All right, so one of the claims that Trump said was that Biden wants to raise your tax by 4 times. And if you look at his actual tax proposal, it cuts taxes for anybody earning less than $400,000 a year. And of course, it doesn't quadruple taxes for anybody. But basically, every time the Democrats want to raise taxes, it's for people that are making over $400,000 a year. And the Republicans are somehow able to spin it to all their followers that live in trailers that they're the ones that are going to get taxed. And I don't really understand how they fall for it. It's because they have their own news outlets, so they can just pretty much spin anything without any type of kickback or any type of blowback, because they've already demonized CNN and all the other news agencies. So their supporters won't believe anything they say at this point, which is kind of crazy. Joe Biden claimed that he says that he changed in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. And I think that was considered true because there has been a 47% drop from this new executive order that Biden passed in June. And like I've been saying many times on here, Democrats have been trying to get border security, but the Republicans always vote against it because they want to run on it. They want to use that in their elections, and that's what they talk about all.
Right, that's their thing. That's their shtick. It's like,
yeah. So why would they want to fix it? It works for them.
That's like you showing up as a fucking animated skeleton. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, stealing your junk. What's up, Kobe Collects? Thanks for hanging out. Bruin88 says, if it is a threat to KILL, no, that is false. Not as a president, bro. Have you seen the new? As long as it's an official act, the president can do literally anything. They can just say it's an official act. All right, here's a new claim on Trump. This one always gets on my nerves. He says, so that means he can take the life of a baby in the 9th month and even after birth. He's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. So Trump always says that some guy in Virginia, who's apparently a politician, a Democratic politician, once said that it was okay to have abortions up to and after birth. But that's just one dude. It's not like that's an actual policy that anybody has or agrees to. It says here, killing a newborn is
Not that
illegal.
we know of, but the fact that it could actually happen is fucking kind of scary, man. I mean, this is probably not a topic we want to really brush too much on with like a half hour to go. But yeah, this is probably something. I would have kids, man, but I'll just say that like when I start thinking about like abortion and stuff like that, that's a crazy rabbit hole to go down. And I don't spend a lot of time there, but the time that I do a lot of thinking, man, because again, I'm a fucking 42-year-old fucking single dude, man. I can't imagine having that type of, decision or making a decision in time and then taking into account all the situations and possible scenarios that could happen to put that girl in that situation. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy, man. And again, we're two dudes sitting here on the internet, but that's like a whole fucking 2-3 hour fucking show on its own if we were going to discuss it.
Yeah, abortion is a pretty sticky topic to get into. Of course, a lot of people's opinions are ruled by their religion. But when it comes to the law, though, and the law, there are some states where you can have an abortion up till, almost to birth. And the only way you can have it, though, but they never add whenever they're talking about this on the Republican side, is that the only way
life of the mother.
Yeah, the only way you can do that is if the doctor says there's like a medical reason, like it's super important, or because like the baby's going to be born stillborn. And in Texas and some other states, even if your baby is born stillborn right now, you have to still have the baby, which is crazy to me. And in some cases, maybe the mother's going to die because of some complication. And so in that case, they might allow you to have an abortion in the last trimester. But of course, 93.5% of abortions all happen in the first trimester. Less than 1% of abortions in the U.S. happen from 20 weeks onward. So I think that one is considered fake. Bitcoin BMW says the border is wide open, the worst it's ever been. I just showed you right here that since the new executive order that Joe Biden had to pass because Republicans would not pass any border security, nor do they have any proposed bills for border security. If they were so concerned about it, they would at least propose their own bills. They don't propose any bills, and they won't vote in favor of any border security bills that the Democrats propose. So Biden did have to pass this executive order, and since then, there's been a 47% drop. And you got to keep in mind that during COVID, Title 45 hit, and that closed the border completely. So Trump can always say that he didn't have anybody coming across the border during his last 2 years because not something that he did, but it was because of COVID they had to close that border. And the reason why border crossings jumped after Title 45 expired is because all these people were coming to America or trying to get to America, and it was closed off for 2 years, so they're just stuck there in Mexico. And once they reopen the border, they all come in, at the same time. Bruin88 says, forget the guy in Virginia. There was an actual video where a doctor was talking to people putting a child born, putting it down in a compassionate manner. I saw that video. Send me a link. I've not seen that. Listen, this abortion debate is not my hill to die on. I actually believe in a woman's choice. Well, I know that the majority of people believe in choice and the freedom of choice. And it's crazy because when Trump talks about it, he always says everybody wanted Roe v. Wade to be abolished. And that's completely another one of his many lies, because it was the majority of people polled in every poll say that they didn't want Roe v. Wade to be abolished. This one is the one that got me. I think I was live streaming during the debate. We were sniping meme coins mode during the debate, and I actually 5x'd on 2 meme coins during the debate. One of them was the stutter coin, and another one was like the Biden, B-Y-E-D-E-N. But every time he stuttered during the debate, that stutter coin would go up. It was kind of funny. But this was during the debate, and I looked this up. Let's see. Trump said that Biden has the largest deficit in the history of our country. And of course, that's completely fake. The deficit under Trump was over $3 trillion per year. Right now, it's at $1.7 trillion. It's expected to rise to $1.9 trillion, but it's still nowhere close to what Trump's deficit was. And I always talk about Republicans in office raising the deficit when they have a president, and when Democrats have a president. Historically, over the past 20 or 30 years, the Democrat always brings the deficit down. It's just that people don't understand the difference between deficits and debt. News Now Marijuana says none of the bills actually did anything to close the border. It was border security. They were limiting the amount of people who could claim amnesty, and they were adding a whole lot of border patrol agencies. Also, they were adding the people that you need, like the judges, to hear the amnesty cases. So, I mean, I disagree with that completely, News Now. I can't find that video now. I tried to find it so many times. Oh, they got rid of it, didn't it? They don't want people to know. Now, I don't know.
They scrubbed that.
They probably did scrub that from the internet. And you're forgetting about the Kermit Gosnell guy. That dude was doing all that stuff. Kermit Gosnell. I've never heard of him. I know Kermit the Frog. Well, head down here and I see for yourself.
Kermit the Frog here.
I mean, I believe you that people are still coming over the border, but the stats show that since this new executive order was just kicked in, that the numbers are down. Let's see, another
I mean, I
claim-
see the numbers too, and I understand them. But again, I know Big A always says it's anecdotal mode, but I use my eyes, man, and I live in a place where it typically has a lot of illegal immigrants, and I do notice a fucking heavy influx of them still to this day, and it doesn't seem to get any better. But again, I live in a very, isolated case, I think, because of where I am.
Yeah,
but,
didn't they know they ship a lot of illegal immigrants to New York?
Yeah, exactly. So it's either here or what is it, Martha's fucking Vineyard. So I mean, yeah, it's again, I'm probably in a spot where it's like, yeah, of course I'm gonna see him, because you can go to the fucking corner and just see fucking Manuel and fucking Javier and all his buddies looking for fucking painting jobs every single day. You know what I mean? Like, and again, like, I'm not saying it's a problem, it's wrong, or whatever. I mean, I still think people should be here legally. I think if you want to drive, you should drive legally. If you want to own a gun, you should own a gun legally. If you want to come to the country, you should come here legally. That's all. I have no problem with actually being here, but again, to me, when I open my eyes and I look around where I'm at, it definitely don't seem better, so.
No, and I do worry about places like New York where they're giving a whole lot of extra money, giving lots of money and shelter to illegal immigrants, but not helping veterans, homeless veterans, and even homeless people that aren't veterans. I feel like they should come first before the legal immigrants. But what do I know? That's just my opinion.
You see what happened to the fucking the cops over here in Brooklyn? Brooklyn or Queens or something?
The ones that got attacked and then they let the guy go?
The whole fucking group just fucking attacked the fucking cops. It was like illegal fucking like Russians or some shit like that. It was some fucking group. But they just all beat this cop's ass, bro, and they all got out the next morning. Like nothing ever happened.
How they just let them out. That's what I don't
fucking
get.
Crazy. Well, because again, they become like a fucking stress on the system. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just they got no room, and then what happens? They got no room. They got to keep all these people in there. They can't even get into a court and take care of them for what? They're illegals. What are they gonna do? Then they're gonna fucking ship them to somewhere else, and they're gonna want to get bounced around somewhere else, and probably just come back and do some other dumb shit too. They're like, you know what? Fuck it. Cut out the middleman. We'll just send them on their way and hope for the best. I think they kind of hope that these fucking people just walk out and get hit by a bus or something. I'm serious, man.
That's
like
crazy.
It's crazy, but same thing in San Fran or in Cali, man. Places that I've been, it's like you just basically leave people to die.
Yeah.
I have more empathy than that, man. Like, again, we have like this dude that sits outside of Stop and Shop or the supermarket, and I can't like walk by this guy and not give him $5. He's sitting in a wheelchair. He plays the harmonica. He was a fucking U.S. Marine Corps guy, and like without that dude, I wouldn't have the life that I have. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
When I see that shit, bro, and then like I see guys like that, and I see people that sit out in the street and it's like, oh, $5, bro. It's like, bro, you want to buy crack, you want to buy something, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get shit from me. But the people that really need the help, they can't get it because the other fucking pieces of shit are taking all the resources. You know what I mean? And that, to me, that's where I kind of take a little bit of umbrage with it, a little bit of a problem with it. But I don't know, man. But again, I can't deny the numbers. If you take the numbers on a whole, yeah, I guess they are down.
Yeah, and I mean, the Veterans Affairs problem, I feel like that has a lot to do with government funding. We're draining the money out of the government funding. Nobody wants us to spend money, and then they complain that the veterans don't get any help. Like, you gotta fund that, and the way to fund that is to stop giving the billionaires all the money, because that's basically what we're doing every time we give these giant tax cuts that 90% of the benefits go to the top 1%. That's just draining money out of our economy, and it's draining money out of the VA, too. News Now
100%.
says the bills were called that, but they didn't do that, just like every other bill. I promise you they did. I can tell you, I mean, we can look up the bills. The bills they proposed added border security, more border agents, so they would be hiring new border agents, like thousands of them. Also, new judges, so that asylum seekers wouldn't have to wait a year to get a hearing. And if that entire year they're in the country illegally, well, I mean, I think actually if you're seeking amnesty and you're waiting for your court date, you're not technically illegal. So, I mean, we need to make that process a lot faster so that people can get their answers and they're not illegal anymore. Mr. Planet Prophet, what's up, my man? We are talking.
I know they shouldn't be here illegally in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that we have to take resources away from our country that needs it, and the people that need it, like the people that served our country.
Yeah.
And then have to try to fix other people's mess because they didn't take the time and due diligence before they came to our country. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to go somewhere and I plan on moving somewhere, like I remember it was a while back, like I was looking at like potentially doing like dual citizenship in like Canada for work type stuff.
Right.
Dude, they don't even want us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I beg anybody in America to go try to move to another country and, like, look it up. Because they don't want us. They want to know, like, what can you do for us? You know, like, how good are you at your trade? Or do you have a specialized trade? If you're like, I'm just some, like, jack of all trades, you know, fucking master know-it-all. They're like, get the fuck out of here. We don't need you.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
If Trump gets elected, they better put up a wall because my ass is coming to Canada. I'm headed there. I don't care how cold
you ain't
it is
just going
there.
to Canada, though. It ain't that easy. That's what I'm saying. Like, unlike a United
That's a
States,
big
they will
border.
just pick your
I'll
ass
find a
up.
way in.
No. They will find you. They will pick your ass up and they will boot your ass over the border the same way that every other fucking country does, because that's the way shit should be done. You fuck around and you find out. But here in America, fucking land of the brave, home of the soft, you know, everyone's fucking, be nice. You don't know what kind of day that person's had. Well, that person just made my life a living fucking hell right now. So I don't give a shit about their day and their life because they clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing. And this is the world that we live in. This is the exact world that we live in. But if you go other places, it ain't really like that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy.
Bitcoin BMW, that has been debunked. I seen it in the community notes. It was a fake. It was fake. That somebody put out a paper showing that the Ukraine president's wife bought a new Bugatti and it was 100% fake. People just believe everything. That's what's annoying. Brune88 says, I worked in immigration law for a while in LA, and to see people going through the legal process and money spent, the hardship on them and families, not right when you see illegal aliens get a pass. I mean, I don't think they're illegal, though, if they're seeking amnesty. That's the difference there. I've been watching a lot of police arresting veterans videos lately. They seem to enjoy the fight. The veterans enjoy the fight. It's kind of like just the fact that social media is so prevalent right now. That's why a lot of people think that crime is through the roof right now, when crime is actually way down compared to the last administration. It's just because that's what they're showing on TV. That's what they're showing on TikTok. It costs the government.
Yeah, but it's a different style of crime. I mean, we can't get it twisted. I mean, this is not the same crime that was happening 5 years ago, 10 years ago, certainly not 20, 25 years ago, where it's like just blatantly walk in and be like, you can't fucking touch me. I'm going to walk in, fucking rob the shit right in front of you. You're going to let me walk out. And that's typically how it goes. And that's just crazy to me.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's the local Democrats freaking mess up right there. They shouldn't have decriminalized thievery. That's ridiculous. I don't understand why they did that.
Well, because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, Walt. If somebody walks in and robs your store and takes money out of your fucking family's fucking mouths and shit and food out of your fucking kid's table, like, God forbid you fucking, you know, tackle them and fucking side fucking blast them in the face or something. Like, holy shit, man. That's what I'm saying, but it's just everything is like, it's as this country is as soft as the ice cream that fucking Biden eats, man. I'm telling you. It's absolutely pathetic. I would join you and go to Canada, but I'm telling you right now, they ain't taking us.
I'm going to Mexico. Everything's cheap in Mexico. The girls are hot. I mean, why can't I jump?
Mexico might take us.
I'll go to Mexico.
I don't think they have a
Why
choice.
not?
They probably have to take us, but yeah, good luck going to Canada.
Bruin88 says, I used to give Del tacos to people on the street corners until many didn't want it and wanted money. I was like, forget it. Yeah, because they want to get alcohol or drugs. Yeah. That's why a lot of people say, we'll work for food or have the we need a job signs. If you actually offer them a job, they'll be like, nah, I don't want that. Mr. Planet Prophet,
of course not. They just want to run their scam.
How many confirmed billionaires in the USA? Is that an impossible question? Oh, that should be able to be something that you can find. Looking up statistics. I'm not sure, though, how many there is. And that is when I didn't have money, living paycheck to paycheck, and he was still giving out Del Tacos. Trump promised deportation during his term. He did nothing. He won't do anything again if he wins. No, the person who deported the most illegals in his administration was Obama. Barack Obama.
It was Obama, right? Yeah.
Yep. I don't believe you will go to Canada. I've heard that. I'm thinking now I'm going to go to Mexico. Come over the legal way through a border and claim amnesty in Mexico. If Trump's president, I feel like I have a good case. All right, we're only going to be here for an hour today. Mo's got a stream to do. I've got some supper to cook. So I want to get to the gaming, and on gaming we want to talk about Photo Finish Live a little bit, and I want to do a live reveal because I have my stable pulled up here. That's the wrong button. If I can find the right button, boom shakalaka. So I've got my PFL stable right here. As you can see right there, I've got a new foal. Yesterday was Foal's Day, and I have not revealed it yet. So this foal was created from my horse Marvel, which you can kind of see above Mo's head here. I bought this horse from Mo. It's a female horse. She ran 8 races, got 2 wins, 1 second, and 3 thirds. So 6 of 8 podiums. So she was really good for me. But the first horse I got from her is Cyclops. Her name is Marvel. So I've been trying to make Marvel type names, although I'm running out of them. All the good ones are taken. So I tried Cyclops, and Cyclops has not been running well for me. But the second horse I got jumped all the way up to a S minus, and if you see right here, Marvel is an A, so that's a pretty big jump. I'm hoping that he does well. However, both of them are males, and what you really want in this game are females, because whenever you breed your horses, if you have the female, your horse gets pregnant and you get to keep the foal. If you have the male, you get paid to breed with the female. So I'm hoping that I get a female this one, so we're going to reveal it right now. Fingers crossed, hoping for a female. An S minus female would be the biggest W. An A plus female would be fine too. If I get an A female, I don't know how happy I'll be about that, but here we go.
Come on, give a filly.
Are you kidding me? Another colt.
Another colt.
3 in a row.
Wow, S minus still too. Fuck.
It is a S minus, which is good because it went from an A to S minus.
I'm telling you though, man. And again, we can look at I'll look at your horse. Obviously not now, but I'll look at that Cyclops horse. So we can always, take a look and see maybe where you're racing it, and I can kind of help you out. Because I'm telling you this right now, man, like, what you just said about, like, the fillies and making the money and keeping the babies is true. But the way to make the most money right now is to race and to have colts. My colts made me, like $3,000 last month. My fillies made me jack shit, if I'm being 100% honest. My babies all pretty much dudded out. I didn't really get any good upgrades. So take it for what it's worth. This is actually a really good time to get colts. I'm kind of being honest.
And isn't it true that some of the colts or some of the horses don't perform well when they're young, but they get better as they get older, like as part of their genetics?
Correct. Yep. They can peak anywhere between 3.5 and 5.5. So you might get a strong horse that dominates at 2 and then hits a wall at 3, because now you're peaking more at like 5 years old. Everybody else is peaking at 3.5. So you feel like your horse is worse. And you might even want to sell the horse, but I can assure you, if I teach you and I show you what to look at, fleet figures, how is the horse running, this, that, and the other, you'll have a better idea of, like, is this horse just having some bad races, or is it just a bad horse,
Yeah, I've only ran it twice, so I've only ran it at 2 different distances. I need to try to sprint with Cyclops. Maybe he's a better sprinter, or maybe, like you said, he'll start to come into his own around age 4 or 5.
Well, that's a... You said that was out of Dot? Was that a Dot or?
Yep, Dot and Joker.
That was a Dot and Joker baby, yeah. So my Dot babies, and again, this is why, like, if you ever look at a mom, you can look through the horses, look through the kids, and see, exactly how they're performing. Yeah, so your horse that came from Marvel. Yeah. See, now Marvel actually raced 9 to 12 or 9 to 11. So that horse actually ran a lot longer.
That's why I tried Cyclops at.
Yeah, which you really wouldn't think that's the case, though. Because, the stamina is an A on an A horse, right? Like, I would probably put Marvel like a mid-range runner, but it wasn't, clearly. So now if you're looking at the... Yeah, but still, if you're normally catching those types of performances at the end, you're normally not going to catch them in the middle, too. That's not the way this game operates. There's very few horses that'll run, podiums across the fucking entire 12 furlongs. And most of them, well, actually, I don't think there's any that do all 12, but you might find some horses that run really good at 4, 5, 6, or kind of good, but then they're really supposed to be running 7, 8, 9, or vice versa. But I heard my foot screaming outside my door. So yeah, looking at Cyclops, man, like I said, coming out of, who you bred it with, where it's at. I mean, yeah, probably think that that 7 furlong race you ran. So you ran a 54 and then a 58 at 7, right?
Yep.
So if you take the 54 furlong at 11, and then you brought it down, you got a higher fleet figure, right?
Right.
Yeah. So now you got to go down to a sprint and
Right.
check that fleet figure. You know, and you can also check like the maiden race. You can look at the morning line odds, which anybody that plays PFL is like, oh, it doesn't work, Mo. Yes, it does. But it only works if you're in the same grade as everybody else. So if everybody's an A plus and you look at the morning line odds, they do make sense. But if you're in a handicap and you have like B minuses with S's in there, you can't look at morning line odds. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I try to run the races that are A plus max for my A plus horses, and whenever my S minus is old enough to race, I'm probably going to do the same with him because I don't want to race him against S's or S pluses or anything like that.
No, definitely not. But especially as a maiden, you know, before you get your first win, it's cheaper to race maiden races. That's why they dropped the price on them like they should have. Yeah, again, I would just keep, you know, testing out some stuff and see what works. But I don't know, man. I wonder if you just got a really shitty run at 11. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if that horse still winds up being like a 10 to 12 furlong runner like its mom.
Yeah, I want
it's
to run him
possible.
more, but the races are kind of expensive, honestly.
Well, I mean, 560 Derby, so basically you spent about $7. You got 50 cents back in crown, which will stack up, you know, over time. But so you're basically going to lose about $650 if you don't hit the board, you know. Actually, you know, it's really not too bad because if you ran your horse, let's just say like six times, 2 times at each like funnel, you know, you're gonna lose about $35-40 before you realize like, hey, maybe this horse just really isn't worth anything, you know. So again, I mean, if that's something that's like I can't really afford that, I get it, but that's actually relatively cheap for a game like this, or even compared to other racing games. Because these maiden races actually, even last month or 2 months ago, were like $25-30 a pop. So, you know, it would have cost you hundreds to fucking get this information. Whereas now, maiden races are where they should be at the, you know, near the bottom, to kind of like discover your horse and learn. So think about
The
that.
races I got into have been pretty cheap. I'm just saying there are other races I want to get into, but they're like $30 or $40 entry price, and I'm like, I'll just go for a cheap race.
But you don't want to go into the big. You're saying like, so when if you're an athlete, right, and you're trying to like find your niche. And you're like, hey, I know I'm an athlete. Am I a minor league athlete? Let's just take baseball as an example. Am I a double A? Am I a triple A? Am I a major league prospect, right? Like, look at it that way. You have to run your horse like you're a fucking minor league prospect. You have to run in a maiden race until you win. You have to check the races. You have to win your maiden in a maiden. You can win a stakes race. You can win allowances. I'm not saying you can't. But if you really want to learn your horse, you learn it in a maiden race. And then let's say you win at 12 furlongs in a maiden. Now you can look at a stakes race, right? And say, oh, okay, is my horse good enough to run a stakes race? You run him at the same distance that you already know he can win, and then you check. Now, if he comes out and wins a maiden, runs like a stakes race, and runs like dog shit, and then you run him another stakes race, he runs like dog shit again, well, your horse probably doesn't have the heart to run stakes races. So again, this is what I tell people all the time. Your horse is not as good as you think it is. I'm not saying you, just in general. 95% of the horses that are in PFL don't deserve to be raced. They don't deserve to be bred. They should not even be looked at. But we have a lot of horses, you know, because people bred a lot of shit, myself included. So you have to, again, win a maiden, and then you got to work your way up or down the ranks. If you have the money and you win at 12 furlongs, run a 12 furlong stake race, get the exact same condition, and check your horse. If he doesn't do good, he doesn't have the heart. Now you got to drop him down to a allowance race. Requires less heart. If that doesn't work out, now you bring him down to a handicap. Requires even less heart. But when you put weight on the horse, now it kind of taps into the temper of the horse, which temper doesn't get tapped into without weight, something other people disagree with me on, but it's a whole different story. I have a year of data that backs everything up. You understand what I'm saying, though? Like, there's a whole process that goes into kind of like figuring out where your horse is, how good is he, and that's really up to you. But win a maiden race and then jump into an allowance. See how he does in an allowance. If he doesn't like the allowance, drop him down to a handicap. Doesn't like a handicap, put him in a claimer. Claimer is like the bottom of the barrel. Stakes racing is the highest. You know what I'm saying? So once you win your maiden, that's when you kind of like start figuring out the puzzle a little bit and seeing what's under the hood. But you can't really figure that out until you win your maiden, at least, you know? That was a lot of words, but
No, it makes
this is just like
sense.
a year. This is like a full year of me doing this shit for like 14, sometimes 20 hours a day, man.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Yeah, I need to run them more in maiden races, and then when these two horses, these two new coats, are old enough, start them off in maidens. I'm just mad I didn't get a freaking filly. All right, let's catch up with the chat. Then we're going to end the stream because Mo's got a stream starting at 6 o'clock if you guys want to watch that. Check him out on Kick. Mr. Planet Prophet says, the world is getting softer, but you shouldn't pop someone for jacking some sweets from a store. Y'all crazy Americans. I know. And if you had some people's way, they would shoot people for stealing $10 worth of candy from the store. What do you mean by pop? I mean, they should go to jail.
Because I said pop them in the side of the face. But listen, my point is that people think they can just walk in and they're above the law now because of these new fucking soft-ass rules and shit. And it's like, I could just do it. If someone does it, I'm not saying you have the right to fucking shoot them in the fucking head. Like, I'm not saying that at all, ever. I'm not a big fan of violence. But you should be able to pick that person up as an employee, as a concerned citizen, and hold that person until the fucking cops show up. But you can't, because if you do, you'll get fucking sued, and you'll wind up in jail, and the other person will go away scot-free. So that's the crazy world that we live in. You know?
Yeah, somebody will steal something from a store, and their security will like tackle them and maybe break their wrist or something, and then that person will sue the store and get like $1 million. This doesn't make any sense at all.
And the security guard gets sued, and then his family can't fucking eat. They get evicted. Their kids fucking turn to crime, and it just repeats the fucking process. Because everything majority of things that we do in this world don't make sense in 2024, man.
No,
I don't think I'm being unreasonable when I talk about a lot of this shit, dude. Like, again, I've been around since the 80s. I'm not a fucking jaded old fucking man. I'm pretty good at kind of stepping outside of, my realm and getting a good picture of things. But this is not okay what's going on, man. Like, it's not. And we need a whole show. We need a whole weekend to really dive into that. But
yeah,
fucking hell, man.
It gets wild. In California, security that injures a thief will probably end up losing their... we were just talking about that, yeah, and get sued. Mr. Planet Prophet did a little research and said there's around 600 to 750 billionaires living in the United States and 200 in the United Kingdom. I mean,
there you go. And if we had a wealth tax, right, or some sort of tax at the top, where it said like, "Hey, dumbass, you don't really need more than fucking $5 billion in your bank account. So guess what? You're going to pay more tax than everybody else." Now, I'm not saying that you should strip people down to a certain amount of money, like I think some people would do a wealth tax. Like, you're not allowed to have more than $1 billion. I don't think that should be the case. But if you made $5 billion, you should be paying a lot more taxes than everybody else. Again, this is where a lot of people will think, yeah, I am a full-blown Democrat. But, again, when I start to dive into things like that, it makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, you make more, you take more.
It should
make
sense.
You don't need that much money.
And people say that if we do that, we're now socialist. However, in the 1940s and the 1950s, that's literally exactly what we did. We had that exact tax. If you made over a certain amount, you paid like 90% of the rest of it in taxes. And guess what? That's the time period where America became the strongest company in the world because their government was funded so that they could build up their military. And we don't do that anymore. And that's why we're struggling now.
We don't do that because we just fucking scam money under the table and behind the scenes, and we do all this other creepy ass shit.
And we let Congress do whatever they want to make extra money by getting legal bribery. What's up, Mohammed? Thanks for hanging out with us. It says your gun crime is nothing compared to knife crime here in London. I hear about that a lot. They got rid of guns, but now everybody just stabs each other. But like I always say, if somebody's getting ready to shoot you and there's 3 people there, they can shoot all 3 of you. But if somebody comes to knife you and there's 3 people there, they can knife one person. The other 2 people are going to get away, though. So.
Or you're someone like me who, I have a best friend of mine who's a black belt Taekwondo. Growing up, showed me all the anti-knife maneuvers, like how to stop it from all different angles, how to like grab their wrist, fucking bend it a certain direction, and I've used it. It was actually a broken bottle when I had to use it, but yeah, like you just again, fuck around and find out. But if you don't train yourself in this world and keep your head on the swivel, man. Anything could happen at any time.
And there ain't no anti-bullet training. Keep that in mind. There's anti-knife training, but you ain't going to get trained on how to dodge a bullet unless you're some high-level ninjutsu or something. But all right, guys, it's about time to end the stream. Like I said, Mo's going to be live over there on Kick pretty soon. He was supposed to get off here by 6, but we kept him a little bit later. My bad, Mo. But shout out to all the homies in the chat for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week for another episode of Tales from the Crypto. We're going to be talking about Bigfoot next week for sure. And who knows what's going to happen between now and then in American politics. I'm sure we'll have plenty more to talk about there, too.
Yeah.
Shout out to MoKnowz for being my co-host. Thank you, Mo, for coming by and hanging out with us. And
man. Good chat as always. Thank you for hosting. Thank you, chat.
Absolutely. And we'll see y'all next week. Later, homies.
Later, guys.